The Ministry of Health in Gaza says 60,034 Palestinians have now been confirmed killed by Israel's ground invasion and bombardment in retaliation for the Hamas attacks of October 7, 2023. Israel disputes these figures, saying the ministry is controlled by Hamas and its numbers are unreliable. But international agencies not only use these numbers and say that they're accurate, they say they're likely an undercount because they don't include many people missing as a result of Israeli bombings or those whose remains have yet to be identified and the deaths confirmed. The United Nations also says that tens of thousands more Palestinians could die in the coming weeks as a result of Israeli restrictions on food entering Gaza. The Integrated Food Security Phase Classification Group, which determines whether famine-like conditions exist, has issued an urgent alert, saying the extent of malnutrition in Gaza City and the amount of food being consumed in most of the rest of the Gaza Strip has now reached the famine threshold. It says that this isn't a formal declaration of a famine. That's usually something that governments declare, but basically it's saying famine conditions now exist in Gaza and are going to get worse. The Israeli government says there's no famine in Gaza, but it is promising to allow more food into the Strip. We've seen that airdrops, particularly by Jordan, have resumed over parts of Gaza, and there's been around 100 of those since Sunday. 100 pallets dropped by planes since Sunday. Now, they're highly controversial because the volume of food able to be delivered by an airdrop is far less than the volume that can be delivered by truck. They're also dangerous because people have been injured and killed under the falling pallets as they come to Earth. But also they're expensive, and aid agencies argue ineffective. And what those agencies are saying about Israel's response and the amount of food it's currently allowed in, that it's not enough to ease the food crisis, it's not enough to deal with the extent of the malnutrition, and anything short of a ceasefire and a massive surge of aid into Gaza is effectively a death sentence for Palestinians.